Ah, the 1965 Chevelle. A face that only a mother could love. I mean, not my mom. I can still hear her now. Cars and zebras, make sure you pick up your crusty socks. I tell you what, if I didn't still live in her basement, I would give her a piece of my mind. God bless America. Oh, I'm just kidding, you guys. You know that I love all Chevelles, including this one that I restored a couple years ago in that there driveway. Yeah, I'm humble bragging. Deal with it. Now check out this exhaust note. So what do we got here? 1965 Chevelle versus 1969 Chevelle. Shoot. First gen versus second gen. Small block versus big block. Lightweight versus big old dumpy. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. I don't want to drop a torrential load of knowledge all over you without your consent. So if you do wish to consent, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers, and we ain't gonna quit until we get there. Are you sick of seeing my videos pop up? Well, subscribe and get me to 100,000, and then I can quit doing this and I can go back to my pitiful life. So back to the 1965 Chevelle. Specifically, it's a Chevrolet Chevelle Malibu Super Sport. And the Super Sport at this time was really just more of an appearance package. I mean, you could get it with a straight 6, you could get it with a V8. Heck, at this point, Chevrolet'd probably just throw the badging on a hot dog if you want. But let's just focus on the V8s for 1965. You could get a 283 rated 195 horsepower, and then there were 3 versions of the 327. The first was 250 horsepower, then another was 300 horsepower, and then the top dog, 350 horsepower. This car is the middle option, 300 horsepower. So kind of like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It had a compression ratio of 10.5 to 1, and it was also rated 360 pound-feet of torque. But then let's take a look at that 1969 Chevelle Super Sport. By 1969, if you got a Super Sport, well, there were no small block options. It was only the 396 big block. But it did come in 3 varieties. The L35, that was 325 horsepower. The L34, you got a cam upgrade, and now it's 350 horsepower. And then what this car features, the fire-breathing L78, which really didn't have a lot in common with the other 2 engines. I mean, it was still 396 cubes, but this one's got 4-bolt mains, a forged crank and rods, mechanical lifters, a Holley 780, an aluminum intake manifold, and the compression ratio, oh, it's 11 to 1. So I sure hope you got a good supply of high-octane fuel, because this car is gonna swallow every last drop. In the Chevelle, Chevrolet rated this 375 horsepower. Now keep in mind, just a few years earlier in the Corvette, they'd said it was 425 horsepower. And sure, there's some subtle differences between the exhaust manifolds on the Corvette engine and this one, but definitely this Chevelle is making more than 375. And then 415 pound-feet of torque. So yeah, the 69 Chevelle outmuscles the first gen, but that small block definitely has one big advantage, and that being its weight. So pending configuration, a small block Chevrolet is going to be around 100, 150 pounds lighter than the big block, but that also leads to better weight distribution. That big block Chevelle, that thing's got a lot of weight out front and not much out back. Kind of like Pam Anderson during her Kid Rock era. Burn like a crotch on fire, itch with a rash from desire, dripping, hurting every time I pee. Take a look inside these 2 cars, you'll see a drastically different approach to drag racing. The 65 Chevelle, that's a 2-speed power glide. And yeah, sure, it's just 2 speeds, but these things are pretty lightweight and they really don't suck off that much power. Unlike your mom. Hope I got my meds supplied, otherwise my dog might die. It's an STD. But then if you look in the 69 Chevelle, oh yeah, you'll see a 4-speed manual, which extremely fun to drive, but perhaps in this matchup, it's a little bit of a disadvantage. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I really never know what I'm talking about. I'm surprised that you guys still watch these videos. Out back, this car is featuring 4 56 gears. So this thing is gonna be a handful off the line. The other car, well, that's got 4 10 gears. And you know, you pair that up with the Power Glide, this thing will probably launch fairly consistently and fairly easily. I mean, unless I'm driving it, then it's going right into the wall. It's an STD! Oh, STD! And And then we get to the biggest discrepancy between these two cars, and that is the weight. The 1965 Chevelle, with the owner sitting in it, weighed 3,418 pounds, so not that much. The 69 Chevelle with its owner, well, that was 3,842 pounds. That gives a 400-pound advantage to the Malibu SS. When it comes to pricing, both of these cars were great deals back in the day. The 1965 Malibu SS started at $2,750, and then of course you upgrade to the 300 horsepower 327, plus the Power Glide transmission and posi rear. That's $3,114. Adjusting for inflation, today that'd be about $31,543. And then if you look at the sticker for the 69 Chevelle, you'll see that this thing had a few extra options. If you took those out and you only went with the Super Sport L78 4-speed with posi, you could get this thing for $3,499. Then if you adjust for inflation, this car would actually be cheaper than that Malibu SS. It'd be $30,421 today. But let's just see what they'll do on the drag strip, huh?
Next up, Harry Roddy out of pre-run mission 65 Chevy Malibu 300 Deluxe. Going up against Harry Plate. And the win will go to the right.
In the first round, the 65 Chevelle was quicker, but they did get a red light, so that gives the automatic win to the 69 Chevelle, who ran 13.98 at 92 miles per hour. Let's see what happens in round two.
Gary Place, 69 Chevelle, 396 in the left lane. Gary Roddy, 365. Just gonna kind of, we're hoping.
In the second round, the 65 Chevelle had some issues off the line, so the 69 Chevelle took home the easy win, running 13.60 at 108 miles per hour. And even though the 69 Chevelle has now secured the best of three title, well, they both decided to run that third round anyway, so let's check it out. And with that, the 69 Chevelle takes home the clean sweep, running 13.64 at 106 miles per hour. Huge thanks to these owners for bringing out these cars. They are both absolutely gorgeous. And come on, you guys, we're on that road to 100,000 subscribers, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, give me a like. I'm gonna see you at the next one.
Pray I can get an appointment. Rush, gotta get some ointment. Doctor's saying this time it's herpes. Condoms make me wanna cry. My penicillin's on supply. It's an STD. It's an STD.